these people, these MAGA people will call me a grifter because I'm not MAGA anymore. And I think that's quite hilarious. Because these same people who, and I partook in this, criticize the Biden administration for the inflation, but they won't criticize Trump. But I'm criticizing Trump. So what does that say about them? Oh, you don't really care about a problem unless the other side does it. But if your side does it, it's no problem. It's not a big deal, right? You see all these people just defending the inflation that we're enduring right now. And they wonder why people like me are turning to socialism. They wonder why the young people are turning to socialism. Well, we live under socialism already. We're not going to sit here and defend the rich people. They get to live in capitalism and we live in socialism. We're not going to do it. If they want to sit here and do that, go for it. But I'm not going to sit back and defend capitalism to the T when I don't live under it. If I lived in a capitalist system, I should be able to get ahead. My hard work should be able to get me ahead, but it's not. It's not getting me ahead. I should be able to save for my future. I should be able to save for things instead of every single dollar going to bills. Every single dollar going to bills. I guess there's this jobs report, and you're seeing a lot of the service sector jobs perish. And I wonder why. I don't recommend switching jobs right now, by the way. Unless, it's just like if you're in somewhere, you kind of want to, if you're secure, hopefully the company is running good, it doesn't go bankrupt. But, yeah. I just seen a post, somebody who said something about supply and demand. They talk. It's the $6 coffee dispute. They said if you stop buying, your prices will come down, and I basically said, so that means if we just stop buying stuff, so like if we stop buying like fast food, then prices will go back down to 5 cents a burger, like back in the 1940s. No, that's not how things work. What'll happen is these companies will just go bankrupt. The prices aren't gonna come down. Okay, these people, and I like economics is a hard thing. It's not there's a lot going, and I'm not no expert, but I know that since there's so much money in the system, that the prices have gone up. They've raised the prices because the system has been flooded with money and continuously flooded with money by our government, by the rich people who control the government, not us. Like they're the ones that keep printing the money out. They're the ones that actually control these people. I mean, you can just look at Trump. Who always wins? Who always gets taken care of first? It's the rich people every single time. It doesn't matter if you vote right or left. The rich people are taken care of first. Always. They always win. It's like, dude, can you not think like a little bit ahead? Can you not for self-preservation, rich people, like, you're putting massive targets on your back. Do you understand this? Did you not learn from the whole? And I'm not like advocating for this, but like, I'm just pointing out an observation. Did you not learn from the CEO of the healthcare CEO's fiasco? Did you not learn from that? Do you think that that's not going to happen again? We just seen mass school shooters, like a huge epidemic the last 25 years. And you think that these people are just gonna sit here and take it forever? I'm just saying, like, can you not connect dots? Like, I'm not trying to rally anybody up. I'm not advocating for violence. But I'm just saying, like, when people are at their wits' end, they don't care. You see stuff like what happened with the CEO of the healthcare CEO. You see the toilet paper factory. Like, do you not see what's happening? You have a generation of people who have little to no empathy. They don't care. They feel like they have no future, so they don't give a fuck. Do you not understand? Like, you don't have. At some point, you're going to lose control. Is that what this is about? Because, like, it seems like you're trying to get us to get rid of each other, but, like, what's gonna happen, since you want the whole country to be the ghetto, like, where you live is gonna become the ghetto. Is this what you want? It's such a and I am, quite frankly, tired of hearing about the boomers, this and that. Yes, we know about the boomers. We know that the boomers are. It's just the same thing over and over. The boomers this rent this. Like, I know I've seen the same post like 1,000 times. The boomers had this and that. I know. Not all boomers, but most boomers are children. They're mentally children. They still care about looking like they're sweet. They want to look like they're rich when they should be really giving that life up. They should have given that life up a long time ago. Back in high school. But, the same people who are so-called Christians want to push a superficial lifestyle. And it's tiresome, to be honest. It's quite tiresome with their arguments. The hypocrisy with these people. Like, when you get older, you should care less about materialistic things and more about your relationships. It's so weird to see that my sons, my young men's sons, yes, very young men, are more mature than fucking 70-year-olds. That's so wild to me. So wild. It's crazy to me. And it's sad. Well, with that it's a big pat on my back, though. I think I'm doing something right. And if you want to know why our society is so screwed up, is because we have a bunch of children in charge. We have a bunch of children that they don't want to grow up. They don't want to balance the budget. They don't want to think about the future. They only want to think about now. And that's the whole boomer mentality. It's just like, they sit here and say, just eat your ramen, like a Dan Crenshaw, or, Ben Shapiro mocking people because of a $20 burrito. And dude, you're rich. You're insulated from it. You're not listening to the young people, and then you wonder why they're just gonna turn on you. You wonder why everyone's turning on the Republicans, because you're out of touch. I can't believe like the movement the Republican movement was so awesome. And since Charlie Kirk has died, and nobody really talks about this, since Charlie Kirk has passed on and he was brutally murdered in front of his family and all of it for us to see, it has been a train wreck on the Republican side. A literal train wreck. These same people who had all the fresh leaders, promising leaders. You know, I look at somebody like a Marjorie Taylor Greene and a Tucker Carlson before, and I was like, man, yeah. I mean, I kind of look at them now and I'm like, I don't really trust these people. Like, they say a lot of stuff I agree with, but do I really trust them? You know, you see Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's on that one thing where you can pay a celebrity to give you a shout out video or whatever. I forgot what it's called. Cameo or something. It's just like, all it is a popularity contest, man. All that is. It's all it is. It's like a high school popularity contest. It makes me think like these people aren't even about what they're preaching about. They just want to stay relevant long enough so they don't have to get real jobs. That's how I look at them. I'm like look at an Owen Schroyer, and it's just like, dude, like Alex Jones, why don't you run for office? Why don't you use your platform to run for office? Why don't you use your platforms to uplift people like me? Other type of voices. Do you know how much damage I could do in the system if I was elected in any type of political sphere? Do you understand that? I get 5 minutes to say whatever the hell I want on the Congress floor. I would go and berate every single person in there. I wouldn't even care about whatever we're voting on, whatever we're debating on. I will just go in there with my own agenda, criticizing, mocking everybody, whether it was the Democrats, the Republicans. I would be a damn time bomb. Or not a time bomb. I would be what Trump was supposed to be. Like a bowling ball in a china shop. That's what I would be. But no, they don't want to, bring anybody else up. They just want to hold on to these content creators, to these people who are washed up, by the way. They're washed up. I look at Alex Jones, I'm like, you need to retire, you're washed up. I look at Owen Schroyer, and listen, I liked Owen Schroyer. When I listen to InfoWars, I hardly ever listen to Alex Jones. I listen to Owen Schroyer. I listen to his content. I don't listen to InfoWars hardly at all anymore. But there's no bringing anybody else up. It's just keep the same people going. Whether it's the people who react, like a Jack Morgan on here. Like I said, Jack Morgan, I used to like his content. I still listen to his content a lot. I like what he's doing, but I understand that he's only in this to make money, okay? He keeps on bringing, like, the Americans, this and that, the doom and gloom, we're suffering. It's like every single video is just basically the same thing. Because that's what people they click on, I'm not trying to be doom and gloom. I actually want a prosperous future. I want things to get better. And I know things aren't going to get better until the elites stop hoarding it all and start not trickling things down. You need to start, it doesn't have to be like a, but you need to stop grasping onto and let go of some of the power Because if we continue what we're going with, we will have a societal collapse. We will have rich people being hunted by Gen Z. We will have old people. You know, like I said, I said this in a video, and people should listen to me because I am kind of ahead of my time. I remember in Michigan, I was walking to the gym and saying, like, I don't want to step over boomers. I don't want to step over, like, boomers who've been slaughtered in the streets from Gen Z. That's not what I want. Like, you are making yourself out to be a target. Like, especially when the same people who tell Gen Z, like, they're just complaining, they don't have anything, you know, they say, oh, like Cat Turd said something like, oh, you're tweeting from a $1,400 phone. And like, for me, you know, my phones I've always bought for like $200 used. So he's just like projecting his own stuff, but like a lot of these people are insulated from the economy. So it's easy for them to be in their ivory towers looking down at everybody else who are saying, like, dude, we're struggling. Well, if we don't have access to money to do things, then we're going to go into a recession. Do you not understand that? Do you not understand? You guys just want to hold everything up here because you're greedy. You've had so much come up to you, and you're just used to it. But you're capitalizing off of our losses, off of our backs, while still relying on us to survive. You're essentially parasites. The systems are already running, man. You really don't do much. The systems are already going. It's not like these people, I know you hear this argument, oh, like the rest. Yes, yeah. A lot of these people don't run the companies anymore. They have other people running the companies, man. Like, it's one thing if you're starting up and you're investing your whole life savings and that's one thing. But when you're already established corporation, it's already basically automated. But if the lower classes can't afford to go and do things, to go and buy things, if the lower classes, which I think that they're starting to get to be, you know, most people are just like, I'm just going to do what I have to survive. A lot of people aren't going to cut to try to extract as much as you can out of the system. And that's where I'm at. Unless I have to buy something, I'm not going to, like, okay, there's some shirts I want. There's some band shirts I want. I like to get me a Pantera shirt, Slipknot shirt, you know, a couple other band shirts, you know, some new hoodies, some more pants that I would like. But do I need that stuff? Am I gonna buy it right now? No, I don't need to. I'm fine with what I have, and I'll keep using what I have as long as, you know, I can use it until it gets worn out. I really don't have anybody to impress. I look at women; they're not impressed anyway. And what am I trying to do? They only care about what my money. Like, I don't care. I don't care. Like, these red pill guys are all, man. You know, Rich Cooper says a lot of good things, but have you ever seen this guy? I mean, have you ever like actually watched Rich Cooper? He has no animation in his face. It's just like stone cold. There's no laughing. It's just, dude, it just seems so fake. he seems so, like, he just sitting there, I'm so stoic all the time. It's like, dude. And this guy, he admitted to, you know, being taken by a single mom. So at some point, he was, you know, weak and soft, like he talks about. And all of a sudden, he's just this, you know how hard it is just to be that, always that stoic. I just think he's a fraud. Rollo Tomasi's a fraud. You know, all of these people, the Tate brothers are frauds. You know, all of these people who talk about freedom of speech when they block people. Tim Pool. All of these people. That's why fuck all of you. You're all a bunch of fucking frauds. You're a bunch of weak frauds. Don't be out here. Like, you're gonna sit here and complain about being blocked off of a platform, banned off of a platform you don't own. Somebody else owns it, like a Twitter, a YouTube, or whatever. And I'm not defending them. I'm just saying, like, you don't own these platforms that you're being banned off of, the Tates. And on your platform, which you don't own, you're actively banning people off of it. Like, it is so hypocritical, and you see these people defending it. I'm like such a minority when it comes to the blocking. Like, I don't block anybody. If I block somebody, I only block somebody personally in my life because I need to extract them out of my life for a certain period of time so I can get to peace and clarity, and then I'll unblock them. And if they, but I need a certain time, I need space so I can get over it. I can get over them. I can get past. I can get rid of this emotional baggage, this emotional garbage, these emotional attachments. That's it. Not because, like, oh, they said they don't agree with me, or they said something I don't like, so I'm gonna block them, like a Rollo did to me, like a Tate did to me, like a Destiny did to me, like, what's his name? Sebastian Gorka. All of these fraudulent, famous people who are supposed to be the beacons of free speech. They're against, banning people. Like, you're banning people, dude. You're a hypocrite. Shut the hell up. And I think that this is why I think that we need an internet digital ID, and we need a social media just for humans, where you're only allowed on this social media if you're a human. Now, we can conceal addresses. I think that should be concealed. I think that if somebody reveals somebody's address, if somebody, what they call the FBI or the police on you and they say that you're doing something really bad, they come in and SWAT you, then there should be consequences. Like, if you report something, if you it'll all be recorded. So if somebody doxes you, they put your address out there, like, we're gonna know who did it. It's not gonna be these anonymous accounts that get your address. Like, we're gonna know who did it. We're gonna know who's like, if you report something to the police, it shouldn't be anonymous. You should have, you're putting skin in the game. Now, does the police have to report this to the people? Like, okay, so if I, report something like this person like probably murdered somebody, should the police tell them that I did it? No, you don't have to. No, but like if we have a social media where it's all digital ID, all real people, and you dox somebody, we're gonna know who. Then you get doxed too, man. Like then we dox you. You can't just be I'm just not for the anonymous anymore. I don't think it's a good thing. I think that anonymous accounts need to be not. I think they just need to go away. I don't think they should be promoted in the algorithm. These faceless accounts that don't want to put any skin in the game. People like a turd-flinging monkey. Like he shouldn't. He should just, his channel he should pretty much be talking. He should be where I'm at, basically. At least, with me, I actually, put my face out here. I'll put my real name. My real name's out there. You can find it. If you really want to find it, you can find it. I suggest not showing up to where I live. I suggest not. If you are trying to cause problems. I live in a tight-knit community. They don't put up with shit. That's all I'm just going to say. They're not going to want... I live in a quiet community. They don't like trouble where I'm at. I'm not bringing trouble here. If I say something and you want to come here and you want to start problems, you're the one that's causing the problem. I'm just using my freedom of speech. I'm just saying what I have to say. And I don't think that the stuff I say is really that crazy, because I'm not like saying, hey, we should go ahead and like harm people. I'm not advocating. When I say stuff like I was saying earlier in this video, I'm just saying the obvious, I think. What everyone probably already is thinking anyway. If you're observing, if you have any pattern recognition in you, you should be able to recognize what Gen Z is capable of, what they've shown us. And to top it off, I see like, so I want to get into the video game discussion. But when we had COVID and we had them wear masks, like, and you wonder why they have social problems. You wonder why they can't do facial expressions. Like, they weren't masks. They were forced to wear a mask and be isolated. You wonder why they have social problems. I seen a post, somebody said, if you have sons, don't let them use social media. Which I agree, you should probably try to avoid it's just a bunch of garbage. It was okay, but it's just a bunch of garbage right now. Maybe it'll get better. But they said don't let them play video games, just send them outside. So you're basically isolating your kid, okay? Like, most kids their age play video games, and there's nothing wrong with it. You just have to have balance. Don't let them use YouTube. Don't let them use any new technology. It's like, so what are you trying to create? Are they like, what do you think? So you want your kid to be left behind as we keep on going forward with technology? Does anyone think that we're gonna just stay where we're at with technology? Do you think that we're gonna keep progressing forward? Or do you think we're just gonna go back to the 90s? Because I think that we can go back to the 90s, but it's not gonna be how it was back then. It'll be better. We can go back to that type of thing. Well, it's more so like independent communities that use AI to funnel out all the garbage, all the sexuality and stuff like that, all the degeneracy, and make it more of a family. Like when I was growing up, you never heard any cuss words on TV. You didn't see anybody out and about with like cuss words. Any of them. You didn't see any of that. And now it's everywhere. So like you're gonna have communities that create their own propaganda, because we all have our own algorithms anyway. But they're gonna want to be shielded from the rest. They're gonna want like their people to be shielded from all the chaos of the world, all the crap. They don't want all this like misinformation, or they want to control the media that goes into their communities. That's where we're gonna head. We're not gonna have this mainstream, community like it was before, where everyone knew the same commercials, everyone knew what movies were coming out. No, we'll just create our own stuff in our own communities. That's where we're going to be heading. I think that's like probably the best. And what it'll be like is you'll have somebody like me, right, who goes on and looks at the current events that's happening in the country, and me and somebody else will create the media, something, it'll be a propaganda, right, for our own community, to filter all the garbage out, to filter out all the like hey, listen, somebody like me, I would rather just have the facts. Like I'll see something happening, and like on Twitter or something like that. Oh, this opinion, that opinion, but I want to have like my community would be. I want to have the facts, so I'll run it through AI, a couple different AIs, and we'll figure it out. And it's not going to be any opinion either way, but you will have communities that go, oh, we're left, we're right, we're this, we're that, we're Christian, we're family oriented, we're degenerate, it's just open, whatever. Like all the TV shows that we watch will be created by AI. All the movies, it'll just be by, instead of these record companies or Hollywood, you'll just have people like me creating everything for the community as a whole, the entertainment. That's what I think is where we're going to be headed. Simulations, what I think we're going to see sports. I think we're going to see a lot of the we're going to see a lot of companies go under, coming out. But I think that we might see some of these big sports breaking under their financial stress. I think you're going to start seeing eyes divert away, and I think that these owners are going to have to uphold these, especially like the NBA. I think that might be one of them that goes under. I think that the WNBA will definitely go under. I think, well, you can already see that they've already made a joke out of it, like Royce White and Enes Kanter. I made a video talking about it, showed you, like, they're declaring for the WNBA draft next year. And if they get in there, they're gonna dominate. Like, who's, what I mean? And then you're gonna see a bunch of, if they allow them in there, which they're gonna kind of have to, right? You're gonna see all these women get pushed out because you're gonna see more men get in there. So it's just gonna become like a G League. The WNBA is just gonna become a G League. That's what it's gonna become. Like a minor league for the NBA. You have triple A in baseball, double A and single A. You know, you have the G League, which would be like maybe like a double A, and then the WNBA would be like a triple A. You know what I mean? That's where we're headed. And then like football, NCAA and NFL, pretty similar. You know, the NCAA, like this is what's probably going to happen with basketball and football is, and I don't know if this is true. I just seen like somebody tweet, and who the hell knows what. It wouldn't shock me. They're saying they want to have 28 team playoffs in NCAA football. So it's kind of a joke, okay? So we wanted a playoff, you know. 12 teams I think is pretty legit. I think the conferences need to be realigned and everything like that. You know, we don't need all the, like the Mid-American Conference, and you know, you have your elite conferences, basically, you know, the four big conferences, and you can have 16 teams in each conference or something like that, and then you can just like bump out the crappy teams that really don't do anything, you know, and then you bring in the teams that are lower, and they work their way up, like a Boise State or something like that. You know, they're all like really good, and they're undefeated. Well, they play a bunch of, you know, whatever schools. So, damn, I was gonna talk about something. But yeah, you're gonna see, so you have a bunch of players who left school early, and they still technically should have eligibility if the NCAA, you know, once they go pro. Like the rule was, if you go pro, you can't go back to college. Like you're giving up your eligibility. But since they pay their players now, they're kind of like not amateur. They're not really amateur anymore. So you're gonna see players who you've seen play before that they're not good enough to be in the NFL anymore, or the NBA. And you know what? The NCAA is gonna turn into AAA basketball. That's gonna be AAA. WNBA, I think that it'll just be done, but you're gonna see players go back. So you might see LeBron James play for the Tar Heels one year. You might see him play for, you know, he's gonna get 4 years if he wants, and it's like, why not? You know, if I had the time, even though I'm older, I would like to try out for a minor league team. Heck yeah, that would be awesome. I don't have the time, but it would be cool to go there and try out. You know, and maybe make the team, maybe get a little bit better. Maybe, you know, never gonna be like Major League Baseball or something, or in the NBA, but it'd be cool to like run with some of these people for a little while. It'd be a cool experience, an experience I've always wanted, and you're gonna see stuff like this. You're gonna see stuff like that, and it has to be, because if we're gonna have all of our jobs replaced by robots, we need something to do. You know what I mean? We need something physically to do, and stuff like this is what we're gonna have to do. Stuff like, you know, we have beer league softball teams, you know, beer league softball leagues or whatever. For a reason. You know, people still like to play the game. You know, people like a Nick Fuentes and all these like, oh, sports ball. Hey, listen. Watching it, there's nothing wrong with watching sports, okay? If it's your whole life, then that's a problem. But at the end of the day, it's your life. If you just, and I kind of don't blame these people for just being sports fanatics. You know what I mean? Like, they don't have to think about all this politic crap. It's so, you know, Nick Fuentes, he sits there and acts like he's so much better than everybody when, dude, he's basically a loser. What does he produce? Oh, you're calling Nick Fuentes? Because he sits there and on his high horse And he sits there, and people who actually go out and live their lives and do different experiences, he's like, oh, people at Lollapalooza, that's their high of the year. But what's your high of the year, dude? What do you do with yourself? These people are actually out living their lives, touching grass, having fun. What do? You just sit on Twitter all day? Like, that's cool. But, like, there's nothing wrong with people who want to go live their lives and just be regular, normal people. Like, we need regular, normal people. We need them. A lot of people do need to be led, like he was saying in a video clip I seen. A lot of people need to be led because they don't want to sit here and think about this stupid crap all the time, like politics, this and that. When it doesn't, what are you writing for, Nick Fuentes? You know, you're another one of them. You sit there and just bitch on camera. That's all you do. You're highly intelligent. There's no reason why you can't run for government. Like, what are you, 30? You're a 30-year-old man who has no kids, who has no wife, and you're a Christian. You're supposed to be a traditional man. What are you doing? You know, this is what I'm saying with these influencers. They just sit in front of a camera and complain. And you can say that about me, but I actually have a real job. I actually get out in the real world. I have a family. You know, I've lived my life. My life is probably lived way better than theirs. Okay? Even though I'm poor, what experiences do they have? I have so many different experiences compared to a lot of people nowadays. Especially these influencers who are, whatever, dude. What was something? Oh, the video. I already touched about the video games and everything like that. But I think that we're just tired of these people. We're tired of these fake people. Yeah. Another thing too is when I'm talking about the over sexualizing of women. Like we need to start building community, like not just digital community. We need to build real communities where we can balkanize, where we can grow. Like there's nothing wrong with what was that, the all-white community living off the land. There was nothing wrong with the all-black community that bought some land and they wanted to create an all-black community. There's nothing wrong with that. That's actually what is a healthy deterrent from what we're living. Like, I don't want to live next to a woke open borders person. I don't want to live next to those people. They don't want to live next to me, so we need to have separate places for us. We need to balkanize where I'm at. They need to balkanize where they're at. They do their own thing. Cool, you go do your own thing over there. I do my own thing. We'll do our own thing over here. But it's like, there's nothing wrong with the female image. It's just the way that is constantly being pushed of the sexuality in our face constantly. It's just like, I don't even want to see, I don't want to see it in my face anymore. I don't want to see their asses, and yes, they look great, but I would rather see them dress modestly. Like, what man out here is saying that? I'm not gay. I love women. Like, okay, not the modern women, but I love what women used to represent. The traditional woman, like they actually were modest and they were humble and they cared more. Their purpose was to be a wife and a mother. That was who they were. A wife, a mother, a daughter, a sister, a friend. That was their purpose. And what's my purpose? I provide, I protect. I should be a husband, a father, a son, uncle. That's my purpose. It's not an influencer. It's not that's my purpose, and it's like there's nothing wrong with that. That's like pretty normal, right? I'm not a high-powered CEO. That's my purpose, and I've accepted that. It would be nice if I had a wife, but that's the only thing that's really missing. And when I work, I should be able to be rewarded a little bit more, so we can go do things. You know, it'd be fun to go on vacations. You know how cool it would be for me to be able to be like, man, I got the money to plan for a vacation, like they did in the old days. But it is now. It's like, well, I don't have health care because that's a luxury. I make under 50,000, like you see. Oh, anyone that makes under 100,000 is poor. Anyone that makes under 70,000 is poor. Well, I don't know if I'm gonna make 50,000 this year. What does that make me? Oh, you're a loser. You're a loser. Well, I work a real job. Like, I actually do stuff that creates real value for our society, stuff that our society actually needs to function. You're a loser. You're a loser. Like, what are you talking about? Is it my fault that, people are looked down on at my level who actually produce shit? Is it my fault? Oh, you should have went to college. Like, I could, like, dude, if I can get released from these shackles, you think I will go to college and I will fucking get degrees just to say fuck you. You think I'm not capable of getting a degree, really? I look at a degree and I'm looking at it like, I don't like the people there. I actually think that would be pretty cool to go to a college or a place of learning where I can live there for 4 years. I can go and exercise, just like a 20-year-old. That would be sweet. And not have to go and maybe I do. Maybe I go ahead and I work some part-time job helping out in the community, and that's fine. But I actually go and study. I can actually, have the time instead of having to work 40 hours a week, killing myself to survive. That would actually be pretty fucking cool. But I have responsibilities. I have bills to pay. I don't have a mommy and daddy paying for it for me. And I'm sure as hell not going to take student loan debt by the government. No, but it would be pretty cool to be able to go somewhere for 2 or 4 years, live on campus, go play some sports with people my age, studying all different types, whatever the hell we wanted to study. You know what I mean? Oh, you have to study to get this. No, it's like you're studying this because you want to learn it, not because you have to learn it like in high school. Oh, you got to learn you have to do 4 years of English in high school. Why? For what? I can already speak English. I can read. I can write. Why do I need to know like all this stuff about English when it has nothing to do with my real life in the future? Why do I need to know algebra and calculus and all this stupid bullshit, these math courses? You need 3 years of math. For what? No. If you're in 9th grade and you can pass a GED test, that's what they should do. As soon as you get out of middle school and you go into high school, this is how it should be. You take a standard GED test, and if you can pass that, then you can just do it. You want to take some English classes? Cool. You want to be a writer? You want to be a journalist? Cool. Take these classes. Take the English classes. But if that's not, it should be when you get in high school, it should be experimenting of what you want to. You don't know what you want to get into. What can you excel in what is best for you to go towards to be able to provide for the community. You know, when you make a business, it shouldn't be about I need to be rich. What it should be about is you want to make your community better. You want to be able to make cool products or services for the community. That's what it should be about. It shouldn't be about, oh, I need to hoard this money, and then I need to live separate from everybody else, so I can live separate from everybody else in this huge mansion. It's like, you should be able to live better than the lower worker. Like, there's no reason why the CEO should make exactly the same amount of money as me. Like, I'm not advocating for that at all. But, like, to the level they are doing is this absolutely preposterous. And it's a slap in the face to us. And they can't read the room. I mean, that's what I would be about. I would feel proud. Like, you feel proud about making this stuff because it's like, you're seeing other people use it, and you feel part of your community. When you go to work, you're like, you feel good. You know that this is helping other people out. You know, I said this I just said this on the last video, like, there's supposedly no other life out in this universe, so, like, we should be, instead of hating each other and being we should be boosting each other up. We should be trying to be more positive towards each other. And in this environment, it's no. You know what it is in this environment? It's, fuck you, I'm gonna try to get one over on you. That's what this is. And you're just sitting here trying to play defense. You're on defense constantly. That's where I'm at. I'm always on defense. Do you know how cool it would be to go to Washington, D.C. and go take a tour through the monuments? You know how cool that would be? I've never been to New York City. You know it would be cool to go to New York City if it wasn't trashed. Why can't these places be, like, immaculate? They should be, like, these are traditional, like, these places should be looked at, like, and treated like the 16th Chapel, like art. They should be preserved, and everything, all the communities around it should be lifted. Like, these cities, they have some really cool landmarks that all these places should be beautiful. They should be safe. Why aren't they? The Eiffel Tower, you know, that's a work of art. The Colosseum and these things need to be, I know it's deteriorated, but, like, the Leaning Tower of Pisa, you know, these types of things, it's art. The pyramids, that's art. And we're just allowing our cities to be eroded. We don't need a new you know how, like, sick to my stomach seeing some of these sports teams have these, like, really cool traditional stadiums, and they just say, hey, we don't want to be in Soldier Field anymore. We don't want to be in Arrowhead Stadium. We want something more more. Listen, if it is being dilapidated and it needs to be revamped, just take the old one and reform it. Make a new one, but make the, like, old style. Like, it is so cool. Wrigley Field I've never been there, but if they can't, if it's just falling apart like Wrigley Field and you have to make a new one, make it like that. Make it modern, but like that. Make a new one, but it's best to try to keep the one preserved. Like Fenway Park. You know how cool that would be. Like I think that's been open since like 1918. That's a landmark. And they want to like destroy like Packer Stadium. That's a landmark. I think that Packer Stadium, I think that's so cool that it's basically in the suburbs. That's cool. But we want to make everything brand new. It's just fix up what you have. And if the stadium or the landmark is being, if you have to get rid of it because it is collapsing and it has structural and like it's unsafe, then you make a new one. Try to make it as close as you can, but make it like a replica, but brand new. You know what I mean? Instead of like this. You know what I'm talking about. These old stadiums, they're landmarks. These old. You're just replacing them with like this new infrastructure that's, there's no art in it. There's no individuality. It's just a plate glass thing. It's just a building that they all look the same. It shows character. Like Wrigley Field has character. Packer Stadium has character. Fenway Park has character. Irish Stadium, the Notre Dame Irish Stadium has character. The Michigan Wolverine Stadium has character. Arrowhead has character. And a lot of these modern structures are just bland and boring. So I think we need to become more community based, and we need to be around people who are like-minded, whatever that may be. And we need to stop doing this diversity crap. Inclusion of people who are like-minded over where you're at. Inclusion of people who are like-minded of where I'm at. I'm for family values. I want to be around people who are about family values. You're against family values. You want to be with people who are against family values. Go be with those people. This is what I'm talking about. We need to stop trying to mix communities of different ideologies and concentrate ideologies. It is what it is. Yeah, that's it.